everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara,
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm wrong.
and we are back today talking about Fightland. This is season one, episode two, and it was titled Brick by Brick. But before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, like the video, and click that notification bell so you get alerted every time we post. Also, go ahead and invite your friends and family, anybody else you know that's watching Fightland, invite them to come and join our recap so we can discuss as a family here. Um, this episode, we kind of seen last week the fallout with Lazaro. He was really upset about Duke having Jay there and trying to figure out like what's up. Why is Simeon here with a recorder? And so we kind of learned at the very beginning of this episode that Simeon was actually he has a record and he had been in police care, I guess, working with them as an informant.
Mm.
So that looks crazy, especially when
Mhm.
you're talking about, like we said, dealing with Lazaro, who is an associate of the cartel.
And Simeon is supposed to be like Sabella and Zeke's cousin or something
I
too.
was
Yeah.
about to
So
say
that's the other thing.
that's the scary part because we sitting up here thinking Simeon is just some random person that works at the gym. No, he's a relative. So I would think that Sabella and Zeke are going to be looking for him, and that when they find out he's dead, it's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I for some reason I don't think he respected too much Duke anyways. If anybody was going to give Duke a hard time, I kind of thought it would be Simeon. Now, eventually I think I know it's the police, but I'm not sure whether they're like the FBI or whatever it is.
They call
But
it what,
eventually they're gonna come
NTA or
looking.
something like
Yeah,
that.
CAI or CIA or whatever it is. But eventually they're gonna come looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
Well,
know.
what they did is they took Simeon's phone and they're basically Duke is acting like he's Simeon. So whoever that handler is, Duke is texting as if he's Simeon. And I guess they're trying to figure out like how much does this person know? Are we in any kind of trouble of being figured out? And we can kind of talk around this. I don't know if y'all want to stick to the storyline or y'all want to hop around because the ending kind of ties into that.
Yeah. Well, what I would like to say though about Duke, he presents himself as being a boxer. We know he's a champion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He goes to jail, but there's more to Duke than meets the eye.
Clearly.
I
Yeah.
mean, and to turn down 15, what was it, 15 million quid to go
Mm-hmm.
back into boxing? And
Mm-hmm.
no, now I understand he wants to avenge his brother and he's got this hard on for Kinsley. I get it. But ain't nowhere in the world I'll be turning down 15 million quid to go back into boxing because most boxers, that's their love. I mean, you can think of any professional boxer and they kept boxing until they couldn't even throw a 1-2 punch, you know. But Duke, he's
He's motivated by that revenge, everything that was taken
it
from him
seems to be, but
the
he's
8 years.
also he don't mind killing either.
No.
Well, it seems like he's been put in some tough positions where he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, but
We seen that with Simeon, but then we seen it again when they went to plant the drugs at the Albanian club or whatever. And I was kind of like, okay, clearly that didn't go how they planned. Jay had set it up, which I was like, Jay even being there is problematic.
yeah,
You
Woo!
know,
but no,
he's trying to be helpful and I think he sees what's going on and realizes the danger, and that's why he's trying to help Duke out. Like, I don't want Duke to get into a situation where he can't follow through on the plan and then the cartel does something to him.
but he's also
uh,
committed to Duke. I mean, he's really
Yeah.
committed to Duke, and I think that's what's driving him more than anything else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I want to explain about Duke, or giving more light to what I'm saying, did you see that knife, uh, that knife fight he had, and the way he was using that knife?
That was Lazaro.
No,
That
that
that did that the
was
actual.
that Lazaro or
Yeah, it was. It was the hitman and stuff that was fighting with the knife. That wasn't Duke.
because I thought when he pulled off his mask, It looked
Duke
like it
came
might have been
back
Duke.
because Duke and Jay came back, and that's when they saw that
Okay, because that,
Lazaro had killed the man.
yeah,
And
because
but it was Duke's idea to said like, oh, the Russians do this. This is how we gonna make it look like it was a Russian hit. So he did the thing where
and
they
how did he know that? I mean, what I'm saying is this is my point about
He's
Duke.
been in jail. He know the Russians and how
Yeah,
they
I
get
mean,
down.
you might say that, and I guess that's a good explanation as to why he would know that. But the average Joe, they don't know the
He's not
signature.
the average
he's not
Joe
the
though.
Well,
average Joe.
this is what I'm saying about Duke.
Hmm.
There's more to Duke than
There's
meets the
layers.
eye,
There's
and
layers.
it's much.
And plus he
Yeah,
was the heavyweight champ. He probably was well traveled. Like he was, I think he was probably living high on the hog before everything went left. And clearly because you see his father, who don't even really mess with Duke like that. That's what tripped me out too. I don't know, I'm gonna have to get dad the hands. I was like, why is dad fielding calls
15
for
million quid. That's why
why are
he's
you?
feeling good.
You're not managing him. You barely wanted him at the house to stay there. And why are you fielding calls for deals for me?
Well,
Let
he
my
said I was just taking. He said I just picked up the phone.
yeah,
That's but he could have been like he's not here and hung up the
he
phone.
could
The
have.
call
He
was
could
not
have.
for him.
Let
He
my
was entertaining them calls.
Yeah, let my son get a call and somebody offer him 15 million quid to go do his kung fu or whatever. Guess what? He gonna go do kung fu. I mean,
But you and your son are on good terms.
Right.
Duke
I
and his
love
dad, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact, we had to listen to a few minutes of dialogue to even determine this man was his father. His father, the first episode, he was like, You're supposed to let me know when we have visitors. This
Hmm.
is his son.
but
So how we go from that to you fielding calls for deals for me for millions of bucks?
but he did say what most fathers say to their sons. I want you to go do something, be
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so that showed me at least he cares, you know.
Hmm.
Oh,
But when you throw 15 million quid at me, at my son, and and I'm taking the phone call, son, we gotta sit down, we gotta talk, we gotta do some serious bro talk.
again, y'all on good terms.
Oh, not always.
Duke and Dad don't seem like they on good terms right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
And even Duke was like, so now you're my manager? Now you feel like he questioned it. So I'm like, yeah, Pops, you got some explaining to do. You barely had 2 words from me, but now you fielding calls for my loot? No.
Right. Right.
He wanted
But
some of it. I mean, I can't blame him,
mm,
you
If
know.
we ain't cool, don't expect no loot from
right. But Duke is
me.
on the hook right now. Even if he wanted to get back to boxing, he can't do it right now because he's on the hook with this cartel situation. So he needs to get that situated. And I thought like he missed the first drop, which is why they had to even go with the second option that Jay presented in the first place. And I was really kind of worried about the fallout from that because it wasn't just anybody that got stabbed. Like the club owner, he was the son
Yeah,
of one of
Nadim.
the
Nadim.
Nadim, the one of the big bosses that is involved with CC and Zeke. So when I learned that, I was like, oh, this is about to escalate real quick.
Yeah.
And we kind of seen that when they had that big meet and everybody came together and they're CC's trying to smooth things over, like we don't need a war right now. And Nadim's like, it's blood or war.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
I'm not letting this go.
Yeah, and I listen. I think any parent would be feeling that way.
Yeah,
And then the way they did his son too, like
Hmm. Cut his tongue out. Yeah.
yeah, like they violated him.
Hmm.
it's just interesting though, how Duke managed that. I mean, that's such a clean look for getaway. I mean, it's so clean. It's like now I'm worried. I'm trying to understand who Duke really is, and so now every episode I see, I wonder. And his need for revenge is way over the top, as far as I'm concerned. But
Mhm.
he's so clean with it. That's what gives me the idea that there's something more to Duke than we actually know. I think it's more than just revenge, although I think revenge is at the top of the list. But he seems to like what he's doing. And if he doesn't like it, he's sure fooling me with it. I
I
know he
think
has
it's
to do
right.
certain things, like you said, TR. But it's not only just to kill, but you don't seem to have any remorse for doing it either. You just taking them out one by one. If they get in your way, you're going to kill them.
I think he's driven. You know how some folks can be driven by hate and stuff. I think that's what's driving him. Um,
Mm.
he's just so obsessed with getting his revenge. You know who I'm nervous for? I'm nervous for Jay because
Well, yeah,
I feel like he's gonna be collateral damage and all of this because he's being loyal. He's trying to help Duke, as you guys said. But I just feel like,
He's very green.
he is kind of green, and
Even
I
in that
like,
situation with the police officer when they got pulled over, like he was about to wet his pants, like he
yeah,
was nervous,
yeah.
and Duke had to like think of a quick distraction, with the license situation. But I was like,
healthy.
Jay is not about this life. Like he's going to get caught up in some mess and not be able to get out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm nervous for him. I could see him. Hope not, but I could see him dying.
Me too,
So
unfortunately.
here's my question: how much should Duke trust Lazaro?
Well, only as far as he can throw him, really, because
Yeah,
Lazaro was going to take them out. Like he has
Yeah,
no loyalty to Duke. He's just basically an
hired
enforcer
hand. A
for the
hired hand.
cartel.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so whatever the cartel says to do, that's what he's doing. If he sniffs anything that seems off, then he's gonna nip it in the bud. Like it's no loyalty here. I don't owe you anything except for I'm following orders. So I don't think that Lazaro really even cares if what happens to them either one way or the other.
No, I think he's come to appreciate though that Duke can think on his feet.
Hmm.
So I noticed how Lazari looked at him or whatever, or he's like, okay, well, we'll do that. Like Duke has been able in certain circumstances been able to pivot and been like, okay, well, let's do this. Like even when he got hemmed up when Zeke asked him to go to the thing, he like quickly pivoted so that Lazaro can be there and everything and stuff. So I was like, okay, Duke is he's pretty cerebral.
Yeah, and good thing he did text and send Lazaro instead because the handler is actually old girl from the gym. So
Yeah,
if he would have showed up there and they seen each other, then that would have blew the whole thing up. So
Well, that made me look at her
her, yeah,
because first of all, it looked like she was trying to come on to
she was
Duke.
flirty.
She was very flirty, and he looked back like, like should I consider? Like he was considering it, and then now there's the whole discussion with Lazaro with her texting Simeon and this, that, and the other, and is he dealing with the feds, their version of the feds? And when she showed up, I was like, wait. Is she a fed? Is she
Yeah,
undercover?
yeah,
That's the
yes,
first thing I
yes.
thought. I was like, uh-oh.
yeah. Kim is police or Fed. I don't know what
Seems like the
division.
feds.
Yeah.
She like feds, yep.
So it's just interesting how Duke is surrounded by these people, and what's going to happen. But then again, like you said, Tiff, I mean, he's so quick with on his feet when it comes to thinking and getting out of situations. But how long can that last?
And the thing about that is he's been kind of, smiley, flirty with this girl, not knowing who she is. Now Lazaro knows, but he doesn't know Duke's dealings with her. So the closer Duke gets to this girl, not knowing what she's really about, the more it exposes possibly his plan. I don't know how it's going to go, but I know that her and Duke continuing to have association is not good.
Well, Lazaro showed up to that meet rather than Duke, so I'm wondering if he's, you know,
Does
gonna
he say it's a
does
girl
he
like this?
yeah, does he say who he thinks it is or whatever? Like that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And of course, they got rid of Simeon's body. Lazaro threw him into the ocean or whatever. So I don't think there's going to be a good chance of CC and Zeke finding him.
Yeah.
But, I think when they start to go looking, and maybe if that girl from the gym kind of hears the news of like, oh, Simeon's missing, what does that trigger?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's his
So
body. I know it looked like he weighed it down pretty much, but what if it does turn up somewhere?
I don't know. This show is getting messy
Messy or
real
Real
quick.
messy.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially I think we kind of talked about this whole situation with Sabella and with the wife Joy. we said it basically last week that there was a lot of tension there, and that Cece probably felt like Joy was a gold digger, and sure enough, she expressed all of that. She laid it out in the line this episode and basically told her she's a leech. And I didn't even realize that they are the same age. So
Yeah.
that makes it even messier. Like, wow.
But I can give Joy the hands this week too because I don't know what it is about London. It's like you're guilty until somebody proves you innocent. I mean, you were getting on Duke about it's been 8 years, da da da, stop loving you, I had to, da da da, all the nine. But when he hit you up and asked you to meet him, you did. And then when you did, you bawled him out. Look, do you like him or not? Do you love him or not? What is this? And it's not like he just left you. He went to jail.
But she reached out 200 something times and he didn't respond. But I'm with you though. I'm with you. I when she said she stopped loving him, I don't believe her.
No.
I believe she still love that man. That's
Yeah.
she showed up. And you can see it is all over her face, and that's why Sabella and Zeke were, acting like that. They saw
Mhm.
it too.
Yeah, and they clearly have a whole lot of history. Like they was at the bowling alley talking, going down memory lane. They go way, way, way back. So, clearly the feelings have been brewing for a very long time. And, I thought it was interesting when Joy asked, like, I feel like Kingsley had something to do with what happened in Vegas that night. Duke denied it. And I was like, okay, he's trying to like keep her at bay on this
He's trying to
situation.
keep her safe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
why I think she's saying that, she said, I had to stop loving you so I can keep breathing. She has a child. And I do believe that child is Duke's child.
Yeah.
We don't know that yet, but I think so. So she may be saying that to keep him at bay. Maybe she thinks she's keeping him safe. Maybe she thinks she's keeping herself and the child safe. But I
Mm-hmm.
think there's other reasons for her saying that she doesn't love him anymore. And I don't believe her.
Yeah. And the fact that they have like tabs on her with this Langston guy driver and
Mhm.
whatever guard, I'm like, she better not be doing too many of these little side meetups because
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
going to get caught.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought maybe the guard would even follow her,
Mm-hmm.
because he was a little suspicious and
But
she
she gave
telling
him a
him
day off.
exactly,
But he went back and told Sabella that. And then
Yeah.
exactly.
that's what Sabella wanted to be with her. Like, why would you give the driver a day off? And that's what she was like, I can do what I want. Like, I don't need you to keep tabs on me and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, Sabella.
Yeah, Sabella got a lot going on. Like she's very ambitious. And
Hmm.
you can see that like she's trying to expand these casinos. She was talking to some guy, about like doing a sports book in London. And I'm like, she really is a smart girl, but I feel like she has something else to her that makes her like I can't put my finger on it right now, but it's like
Treacherous. That makes her a little
yes,
treacherous. Because
yes,
I
Oh
was like, she's one of those, she's ambitious, but she's one of those she'll do anything.
anything.
Because when she was talking to old boy, about expanding the casinos and stuff, and he was just like, well, we'll see if you have what it takes or whatever. And she was like, well, I'll do anything to get it or something like that. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, and then she smiled at him, and then he was just like, okay, like we'll see. He left, and I'm just like, okay,
yeah,
the
she's
next
not.
episode, are they gonna get it in? Because I was just like, to me, that's it, that's what I got from it when
Yes, it gave that.
it gave that. Like she said, oh yeah, I'll do anything
Yeah,
to
she's
make this
not
happen.
quite as notorious as Rock, but I
Oh,
like,
no,
but
no.
I like their business management. When women get into these crime organizations, they do tend to think business wise.
Hmm.
And she's trying to rein her brother in, Zeke,
Yeah.
to do more thinking like business. And Zeke is just kind of like all over the place.
Zeke
Yeah.
is he's a liability waiting to
He the
happen.
weakest
Yeah.
link. He the weakest link.
Because like he first of all, like with the fight and stuff, like they have this fighter and he clearly fixed the fight with the ref. And he's like being all obvious with like the signals that he's sending to the ref. And Duke picked up on it and addressed it with him later on. And of course, Duke was able to spot, the guy Kareem was having a tough time and he wasn't going to
He
win
wasn't
no
gonna
matter
win
what.
that
So
fight.
he gave him the little tip and was like, let me show you how to disqualify this guy so you can win. And it was really smart of him to do that because not only did it kind of, help him with help Kareem with the fight, but it solidified his spot with Zeke because Zeke really like appreciated that he stepped in. And then he had to step again later when the people came to confront Zeke about the match, talking about a rematch or whatever. And old boy is ready to pull out the crowbar and Duke had to lay him out. So Zeke needed that protection because I think a lot of times he talks big but can't back it up.
And also brought Duke closer to Zeke, or at least that's how Zeke thinks it.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
he's able to, to work, under the radar with Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeke
Yeah.
is not as suspicious of him at this particular point in time.
And when
Yeah. Go ahead, Tim.
And when he brought him to that meeting and Cece was there, Sabella was there, she was like, what is he doing at the meeting? I was like, her spidey sense tingling. Zeke is he got suckered because
Mm-hmm.
Duke then reeled him in and
Yep.
invited him into the meeting, and he's getting all the tea now.
Yeah. And I think Zeke really does feel like Duke is a rider for me. Like he's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that can change. I don't really know the history of like Duke's dealings with Kingsley's kids and if his, vendetta extends to them as well. So it seems like, it's a means to an end right now.
Right.
But I wonder if there will be like if the relationship and the bond will grow to the point where it's like a conflict, like, oh, am I really gonna do these kids dirty?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he will. Um, at this point, I think his mission is to um, avenge his brother and get Kingsley.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
anybody in between that is
Mm-hmm.
collateral damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that when those angry guys came in demanding a rematch, and they kept calling Duke a killer, murderer, all that stuff, I was like, that seemed like a trigger for him
Yeah.
because the way he went off on Dude, I was like, okay, he got a lot of pent up aggression about that, and I
Oh
don't know if it was just those guys trying to push his buttons or if people in the public kind of feel that like some people because it's clear that the police officer was like happy to see him like, oh, you're a celebrity, or
yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
he still has a good public perception. But when I seen those guys, I was like, do some people really view him as a murderer?
Well, when he went running, remember when he was running and stuff, and there
Hmm.
was a mural
Hmm.
with his name on it, and then somebody had
For killer.
vandalized it and wrote
Yeah.
B on there and stuff, and
Mhm.
you can see on his face that that bothered him. So I think it's probably a mixed perception. It's probably still some fans that support him, and stuff, but it's still some other folks like that think that he went overboard, and it probably is, like you said, a trigger point for him because he probably felt justified, like Ron was saying, these guys murked my brother and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then they broke my hand, like, and then to find out that Kingsland was behind it, so it is a trigger for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
and to be honest, he is a killer. He's already
I
proven
mean,
that.
I
Yeah,
guess he is, but I feel like he's a justified killer. Like he's not just going out here being murderous. He's kind of
right.
doing things like he's defending himself in the moment.
Yeah, he's a survivor. Yep, he is. Because they were getting ready to, Simeon was getting ready to do him and Jay. Well, he was going to do him and he had to defend himself. And then this situation with, you know, uh
Yeah.
the drop this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was a good episode. I think they get definitely feeding us a little bit more and more at a time. And it's kind of like you said, building the layers of Duke. We're kind of getting to see more and more about him every episode.
Mhm.
So I'm liking where things are going. I definitely can't wait to figure out what's going on with Kingsley in the background because even it seems like his kids don't even know where he is.
Yeah. And when Joy asked too, she's like, "Where is Kingsley?" Sabella, if she, it looks like even if she knew, she wasn't going to tell Joy.
Yeah, but it's funny because when she was talking with Zeke about King, Marshall, she looked worried. I mean, because she said something like he's been gone for 6 months, and it looked like she wanted to ask, "Do you think he's dead?"
She did.
She
Yeah,
did. And
She kind of
Sabella was
suggested it.
And
yeah,
so
she
I was
kind of
like, my
suggested it.
father's, no, he's not dead. Well, even,
Yeah,
when she had the conversation with Zeke, like, she's like, don't even go there. He's not dead. Da da da
mhm.
da.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's them maybe trying to hope for the best,
Yeah,
because I wouldn't put it past it for Kingsley to be dead, but that wouldn't. I don't think it would make for a good storyline.
not this soon. Not
No.
this soon because Duke is after him. It's about the chase and and everything. So I think he's lying low, way
I
low.
think so too. But it's also clear that Kingsley is not a straightforward businessman. Like
Mm-mm.
he does some shady stuff that even when they
Mhm.
were talking about the boxing, they's like, oh, Kingsley used to do this with the refs too. So I'm like, yeah, he definitely has some shady dealings.
And
Mhm.
not to say that this is the case, but I have seen shows where they kind of do it in reverse. Like
Mhm.
Duke's already killed him, and what we're doing is seeing the lead up to that.
Mm-mm.
And not to say that that's the case,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case because what would make Marshall disappear for 6 months? No contact, no communication.
I mean, shoot, if he's hiding from the feds, if he's hiding from these, because they in business with the Russians, the Albanians, like all these folks and stuff. And last week, Sabella made a comment to Duke when she said, you know, the S storm you left my father with that he had to clean up. Not only with the media, like all this stuff. So who knows, like the damage control, the money that he may have lost and this, that, and the other. So I think it's um for whatever reason, by the legal reasons.
Mm.
Yeah, but a man that when you got that kind of money, you have a way to at least send a message. It doesn't have to be directly through you. But I mean, if I were Kingsley and I
Maybe he's trying to
want,
protect his kids.
well, no, I'm just saying it could be any kind of message just to let you know that I'm okay.
Hmm.
Mm.
But he's done nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
now that y'all say that, this whole thing with Simeon seems a little different now too, because clearly Simeon is a pawn in this situation because we heard last episode the reporter was talking about like, oh, you're involved in all these drug organizations and whatnot. Like clearly there's talk on the street of
yeah,
Kingsley being corrupt in
right.
some way. And
Mhm.
so the fact that Simeon is being used as a pawn to bring this Fed girl into the gym and kind of scope things out. Clearly, they've been on Kingsley's tracks for a while, and the fact that Simeon would allow himself to be used against his uncle, that says something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was in trouble. They said he had been picked up for his own stuff. So apparently he was desperate. And Simeon looked young too. So
Yeah,
he probably was a little green.
Yeah, 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 I'd agree to that.
yeah, that's a little traitorous though, especially
Yeah,
considering they're a little like tight knit family seemingly.
everybody ain't, they ain't built for that life.
Right.
So listen, we just saw Raising Canaan. Canaan was like kicking the feds out his house.
Right.
Everybody ain't built for that. And Simeon looked green.
Yeah, yeah, but it's shaping up to be a good series. I really like where they're taking things, and
Mhm.
the storyline. Duke, he's an interesting character. Also, Sabella and Zeke, I think they add a layer to this too. So I'm enjoying it so far.
Mhm.
Um,
Got a question though before you go.
yes,
In the end, we see, was it Lazaro or was it Jay following Kim?
That was Lazaro.
Lazaro.
Okay, so he is, so is it that Lazaro is suspicious of Kim, or do you think Duke put that up?
Duke sent Lazaro to go meet her.
Yeah, he
Right.
sent, yeah, he
Okay.
sent, he was supposed to go, but
Right.
when Zeke said, come with me to this meeting, then he had to pivot and he still had Simeon's phone, all that stuff. So he let Lazaro know to go. And he saw, so he was getting ready to go in behind uh
Kim.
him. So
Hmm.
we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Because when they cut it at that point, I'm like, uh-oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, because one of the things I thought, because like we said earlier, Kim was being very flirtatious with Duke, and the Duke was looking over, and then Jordan told him that she don't love him anymore. So I was just like, okay, is Duke about to have another love interest? Is he
Well,
about to start?
well, it was funny when he was talking with Joy because he was like, "Oh, it's nothing between us," and she's like, "Why are you telling me this?"
Right.
you know, he felt the need to explain. He was like, his interaction with Kim to Joy.
Yeah, because I mean, he loves Joy. I mean,
Yeah,
if
but
he
I'm
can
like,
have her,
they were literally
what?
just talking.
But if she's sitting here telling him that the love stopped and this, that, and the other. I mean, and plus, Kim is an attractive woman and stuff, and
Mhm.
she was being flirtatious, and he definitely picked up and he definitely looked back like, huh. I
Mhm.
was like, oh, look at him, look at him. I was like, Joy, Joy
Just,
about to be a distant memory.
just being a man. That's
Yeah,
all.
exactly. Well, you said it, not me, because I was thinking it. I was gonna say, there you go.
But she was just being a woman.
Yeah, I
Thank you
mean,
very
Well,
much.
he easy on the eyes too, So
Look, I ain't look.
he ain't, we
I,
ain't mad at Kim
I ain't mad
or
at Kim.
Joy.
Hey, there you go. I ain't mad at Kim. Well, I'm a little ticked with Joy, but I ain't mad at Kim, and I'm not mad at Duke. Man being man, woman being woman.
At least, at least.
She's using her women wiles, female wiles, and he's picking up on the scent. What can I say?
And last week you were mad at Joy because she's married. At least we don't know that Kim is married. Kim appears to be single. So
hmm
if he did go that route, minus the Fed situation, if she is
Well,
Fed,
Well, I'm
what you
also
don't
starting to,
know is what you don't know,
yeah,
uh-huh.
but it's when you know and what you
that
do
part.
after.
And
Hmm.
I'm starting to wonder about Kim too, because like people know who Duke is. It's not like he's just like some random. So it's like, oh, he got out of jail. What was he in jail for? Oh, for murder. And then like she might know the history of like Kingsley being Duke's manager or whatever. So is she genuine in her flirtation, or is she using this as a way to get some info?
That right there.
And how did you get out so soon?
Yeah.
Because did he have, we know he did 8 years or 7.5 years or whatever, but did he have more years? And because old boy didn't the
Cartel guy.
cartel helped him get out, so
Yep.
But the
he
question
may
is,
be
did he go to
investigating.
jail for murder or did he go to jail for manslaughter? Because
We don't know.
that's what we
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
And I could see 7 years for manslaughter, first degree. But 7 years for murder, and he got out like that. Yeah, there's some stuff going on.
Yeah, he got out early though, so he
Yeah,
had more time.
Yeah,
yeah, he
maybe
did.
10. Maybe he had 10. I don't know, but I
hmm
don't know what he had. But if he got out in 7 years for murder, yeah, there's some cooking going on.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see. And I guess that brings us to the who can get the hands list because I'm now wondering about Kim. Like, do I want to give her the hands?
Mhm.
Because now I'm starting to suspect her of not being, you know, we know she's a Fed, but in her
And
dealings
like
with Duke, I'm
Angie,
not sure if they're straightforward.
I was like Angie Valdez. As soon as I saw that, I was like,
Yeah,
here we go.
right.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if I
I
would give
think I'm
her
gonna
the
keep the
hands because I
season
don't
one
know
for her.
enough about what she's up to. But it
Yeah, we
does,
got to see.
yeah, but it does hang on the list.
Yeah,
But I'm definitely giving Joy the hands.
he's
I'm-
on Joy's neck.
Yes.
I'm giving Pops the hands for fielding them calls for Duke when you're not even speaking to your own son.
Look, $15 million would make you do
I
anything.
don't care. Pops, if we ain't cool, you don't feel no money calls from me.
Money
We
heals
ain't
all.
cool.
Hey, money heals all wounds. So look,
No,
or at least attempts to. Look,
Pops didn't even really want him to stay there.
well,
He
hey,
was acting like he was a stranger.
no, true. But that's what I said. It really makes no sense how everybody is vilifying him for being in jail for doing something that most people would have done. Because if somebody killed my brother
Mhm.
and, I have the wherefore after you smash my hands, if I catch one of you, I'm gonna tell you right now, we will not be holding my other hand singing Kumbaya.
hmm Yeah,
I
I
think
get
it's
it.
something else. That it must be something more to the relationship with Pops that we haven't seen yet.
hmm
You, you,
Yeah,
you said
it
that
has to be.
you said that last week, but I don't know
I
if I.
mean, so we're only on the second episode. So I think as the episodes unfold, we'll probably learn more about the dynamics
Oh yeah, that
of it.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Like I
Okay.
think we probably haven't seen it yet, but it probably will be revealed why
No,
there's and so Pops may redeem himself in my eyes because it could be on Duke or whatever. I don't know. But right now, I know they're estranged and he fielding money calls for Duke. And I was like, I ain't feeling that.
but you know what it could have been though. Um, maybe before Duke went to jail, maybe his father was more inclined to think that Duke would help him with his business, the boxing ring, and build it up and make it something great.
It looks like they all were though. It's the gym is called the Kilroy. So they were
Yeah,
all in business together.
yeah. And then Duke goes to jail, and like seemingly everybody else is blaming Duke for being in jail. Joy's blaming him, and maybe his dad was a little sour because Duke went to jail.
So I thought about too. I was like, Kingsley ended up being a big part of Duke's boxing career, and Duke's father was also involved in the boxing
Right.
profession. So it's kind of like, is he upset that Duke chose Kingsley over
Right.
him?
That's the other thing.
Mm.
He chose Kingsley instead of help building his father's passion, which is basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that might be it. I don't know.
I don't know, because it seemed like they were all in it together because the brother was in the corner, the father was working, and when they showed that photo wall at the gym, it's that all of them, the father, the brother, all of them were in it. So I think they were Kingsley and them was like the promotion, the promoter, and all of that. But the actual boxing ring,
The training.
that meant the training and all of that. That was his dad and all of them. They
But
they
then
were all in
Kingsley,
But
business.
like, I
but
wonder if Kingsley started to have like too much influence.
That could be because he said he's like a son. He said in the first episode that he was like a son to
and
him.
look, and I can tell you in professional boxing, there have been many times promoters have gotten in the way of the father.
Mm-hmm.
And father having a gym, and I remember distinctly a boxer where the father was kicked to the curb once the
Mhm,
son rose up,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, we don't need him anymore because we got this big huge conglomerate called Marshall with
mhm,
boxing, whatever. So it could be a little bit of that.
mhm.
But I don't know. It's I can't wait to see.
Yeah. Now we talked about who can get the hands. Do we have a game ball? Who gets it? And this
Game
one's kind of
ball,
tricky, but I'm I'm
game ball.
thinking I want to give it to Duke.
Okay.
And
Well,
I think just for that the boxing situation, and how he was able to think quick on his feet with giving Kareem the tips. Then in the situation with the Albanian guy, how he was able to think quick on his feet with cutting the tongue out and blaming the Russians.
Hmm.
I like how Duke is kind of able to pivot really quickly.
Yeah, he is. I
I'd
guess.
like to give it to Jay just for being loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And because that sense of loyalty, you know, you don't see that very often.
Yeah.
So and then too, having a gun put in your face and you still holding it down.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
think he feels a duty too, because I wasn't there for you in Vegas. So now I have to be there for you if something comes up.
Mm-hmm.
well, but whatever his reasoning for his loyalty, still that goes far for me.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think Jay could get it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
He
that
did
makes
good this
sense.
episode.
And he
Hmm.
did spot out. He was the one that said, "I found a spot for you to plant the
Right.
stash and stuff like
Yeah.
that." So he did,
Right.
you know, come up clutch in
Hmm.
that. I'm still worried for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I am.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was a really good episode. Looking forward to next week to see what they got for us. To all the viewers, please drop down in the comment section and let us know your thoughts about this episode, as well as any predictions that you might have. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and click that notification bell. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at The Spot Real Talk. Tiff, Ron, y'all got anything else?
I'm good. Great show.
All
Yep.
right. Awesome. Well, on that note, we are going to call it a night. Thanks again for watching, and please make sure you're back next week for a recap of episode 3. Bye bye.
Night.
Hey.
Two different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played. You speaking so loud with nothing to say. Hey, I'm betting it all on me. And they said they ride for me. And they talk so bad on me. I know there's no friends in this business, that's why I keep keep my family close. Put in work and secure the bag and then take it back to my foes.
It's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up. Yeah, it's been a cold, cold summer. Ice in my veins, but you know I'm about to warm up.
Time will only tell. You can try me if you want. Life can get real crazy. You can try me